In another chamber, Doom himself appears, not physically, but as a projection shaped by the mutant's perception. Doom speaks calmly, explaining that power without discipline is the truest form of weakness. Whether this is real or illusion doesn't matter. The words cut deep. Between these trials, brief glimpses show other prisoners. Vampires, cursed beings, failed heroes, each locked in their own narrative loop. This is why the dungeon exists. It doesn't punish villains. It studies them. The mutant begins to understand the truth. The dungeon is afraid of him. It keeps changing rules, escalating scenarios, pushing him toward emotional collapse. It wants to catalog his breaking point. Instead, he adapts. He stops fighting the illusions, stops reacting. He observes. He listens. Slowly, the dungeon's responses weaken. Cracks form in the stone. Runes flicker. For the first time in centuries, the dungeons of Doom experience uncertainty. And uncertainty is dangerous, because the mutant has realized something the dungeon never anticipated. It can only control stories with endings. Doom senses the shift immediately. Monitors flare. Arcane readings spike beyond acceptable limits. The dungeon is no longer guiding the narrative. It's reacting to it. The mutant is no longer a subject. He's becoming an author. The trials escalate violently. Monsters born from pure concept attack. Manifestations of extinction, entropy, and annihilation. These are not enemies meant to be defeated, but overwhelmed by. The dungeon wants a conclusion, any conclusion. But the mutant refuses to give it one. Instead of unleashing his full power, he bends it inward. He fractures probability. Attacks miss because outcomes refuse to settle. Time loops stutter. The dungeon's systems, both mystical and mechanical, begin contradicting themselves. Doom appears again, this time more direct. He offers control, partnership, understanding. He admits the dungeon was never meant to hold someone like this. But Doom out. The story opens in absolute darkness. Not the peaceful kind, but the heavy, suffocating darkness that presses against the mind. A single torch ignites, revealing stone walls carved with symbols older than recorded mutant history. This is the Dungeons of Doom, a place that exists outside time, built not to imprison bodies, but to break souls. A narrator explains that Dungeons of Doom is not one story, but many. It is a testing ground where the most dangerous beings in the Marvel Universe are brought face to face with their deepest fears. And at the center of issue number 1 is a mutant who is so powerful and so unstable that even his name is spoken with caution. This mutant is not introduced with action, but with fear. Guards whisper about him. Sorcerers reinforce seals. Technology and magic are layered together, barely holding together. The implication is clear. If this mutant escapes, reality itself may suffer. As the cell door opens, we see the mutant change. Not because change can stop him, but because the ritual demands symbolism. His powers are not flashy. They are subtle, terrifying, and capable of rewriting outcomes. Doom
Witness the power of destruction! I rise from the ashes!
Rather than concern. The first trial begins without warning. The dungeon shifts, walls moving like living creatures. The mutant realizes quickly that this place reacts to thoughts, not actions. Every emotion becomes a weapon.
Up there, look!
Anger reshapes corridors. Fear summons creatures from memory. This is not a battle yet. This is an invitation. And the dungeon has just learned what kind of monster it has invited inside. The anthology nature of Dungeons of Doom reveals itself in Act 2. The dungeon fractures into separate chambers, each one telling a different story, each one designed to test a different aspect of the mutant's psyche. Time becomes unreliable. Past, present, and possible futures bleed together, in one chamber. The mutant relives the moment his powers first manifested.